Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troller. 1972 to 1975.
Game 492, Cubs at Pirates.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the 1972-75 Carryover League. We're back in a race to the pennant, and this is the 8th and final matchup between first and second place teams. Like to save the best for last, the teams that combine for the best winning percentage through the All-Star break. It's the Cubs and the Pirates. And first, we just have to remind viewers out there that, well, Cubs and Pirates played each other before the All-Star break. The Cubs went to Pittsburgh, ripped off 2 road wins, came home, blasted the Pirates, were up 3-0, and they collapsed. They folded up like a cheap suit and embarrassed themselves, losing the series 4-3, which put them in a tie for the Pirates at the top of the National League North. Let's go take a look at the race to the pennant. Here we go. Right here. So, the teams are tied for first as this series begins. But Pittsburgh won the best of 7 they just played, so they're +1 in the tiebreaker department. That's not a big deal, because if the Cubs win the series 4-3, they'll be tied head-to-head, but the Cubs will be 1 full game ahead. No tiebreaker necessary. So that's what BO7 means. It's a simple best of 7 between the Pirates and the Cubs. Buckle your seatbelts. We're about to experience some turbulence. Game 1, Wrigley Field, Chicago. It is the Pirates sending Jim Rooker out there, who's had a masterful year, against Fergie Jenkins. In this one, the Cubs go roaring out in the 2nd inning. We have a Ron Santo double, a Jim Hickman walk, a Thornton single, a Randy Hundley double, and then back up top, Cardinal doubles. That's 4 runs. One kicker here. The Cubs like to finagle their defense by moving Santo over to short to get Madlock and a DH in the lineup. They also have defensive whiz Del Unser on the bench in this one. So Kessinger and Unser on the bench to start the game. 4-0 game. We go to the 6th inning, and then, of course, we get a ground ball to Ron Santo playing short, and it's a single. He's a 40-48. Oops, forgot to put the defense in. Then we get a ground ball to Bill Madlock. Oops, he kicks the ball at third base because we forgot to put the defense in. Don't know why we need it in the 6th inning. But these are the Pirates. Oliver singles, Clemente singles, and Stargell sac fly. It's a 4-3 game. The good news is the Cubs have Fergie Jenkins out there. He weathers the storm. A complete game for Fergie. 9 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. Only one of those was earned. A walk and 3 Ks. Jim Rooker had just an okay day. He settled down nicely, but that 2nd inning was just too much confusion. He only gave up, 1, 2, 3, 5 other hits in the game. 6 other hits. 8 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs. The Cubs win game 1, 4-3. Like, that's never happened before. Yeah. Cubs winning baseball games is not a big deal. Did I just say that? I just said that. All right. Game 2. Well, in Wrigley Field again, it's John Candelaria versus Doug Rao. The beleaguered lefty starter for the Cubs, who's mostly overmatched with a weak card because the Cubs just cannot find starting left-handed pitching. However, it's a Doug Rao day at Wrigley. Doug Rao bobblehead, apparently, because the Pirates were confused. Top of the 2nd inning, Sanguin does double and scores on a Rennie Stennett single, 1-0. Bottom half, you get a Jim Hickman homer, 2023 All-Star for the Cubs. Then in the third inning, back-to-back doubles by Cardinal Madlock, 2-1. Then in the fourth inning, here come back the Pirates. A George Theodore homer. George was actually a New York Met, signed in free agency. This thing stays 2-2. Now, interesting little anecdote here. In the seventh inning, Rao has pitched well beyond expectations, but in the seventh, after a strikeout, he gives up a single, and that's a quick hook because we fear the worst is about to happen to Doug Rao. He'll leave 6 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 4 Ks. He's replaced by another left-handed pitcher. Very seldom do I go lefty followed by a lefty, particularly if he hasn't hit his point of weakness. But I just decided, hey, it's time to improve my left-handed starter to Don Hood. Minor improvement. He was an Oriole reliever. He coerces Al Oliver into a double play and pitches a scoreless eighth. Bottom of the eighth inning, and Candelaria, the Pirates starter, who went 7 innings plus the first 3 batters in the eighth. It's a walk to Bill Madlock, a double Billy Williams, and then Ron Santo, a 2-run double, and that's 3 runs altogether. Ray Burris, you're simply the Cub closer. Wear it, lose it, win it, you're the closer, end of story. Pitch the 9th inning, we'll see what happens. 3 up and 3 down. And the Cubs are up 2-0 on Pittsburgh. Like that's never happened before. So here we go, back down the rabbit hole with the Cubs beating up on the Pirates. We go to Three River Stadium in Game 3. It'll be Bert Happy Hooten against Bob Moose. This one, a pitcher's duel, a battle of complete games. The Cubbies come roaring in the first. Cardinal singles. A botched hit and run by Bill Madlock swings through it, but the runner steals the base anyway. Madlock then walks. We get a Billy Williams RBI double, and then a ground out by Thornton scores a second run, 2-0 Cubbies. Meanwhile, the Pirates, a walk and error on catcher Tim Hosley, nothing. A double, a single, first and third, nothing. A walk to Stargell, nothing. An error on Ron Santo. This time, nothing. A walk to Stargell, nothing. It goes like this for Bert Happy Hooten. And then in the 6th inning, he gets the 3 outs, the next 3, and out. A single by Sanguian, then a pop out by Parker. They have to go to a pinch hitter, Hal King. He strikes out to end the game. Face palm. Everybody, put your hand on your forehead, face palm, because Chicago Cubs beat the Pirates again for the 3rd straight time by a score of 2-0. Like that's never happened before. So, we get to potentially watch the Chicago Cubs. The Chicago Cubs lose 8 straight after being up 3-0 twice in back-to-back series versus the Pirates. That's what you get today, folks. I mean, I don't know what to say here. We are in the exact same situation we were in before. All the Cubs need is a single win. One more win to put themselves comfortably in first place. Let's look at the standings and look at the far-reaching effects this has. Here we are, up top here. Here are your Cubbies now. They're 21-13. Better than those dudes. Look at this. Closing in, Giants are 8 games over 500, as are the Cubbies. Mets 7 over 500. If the Cubs can win this game, they can be in the number 1 seed of the National League. If they drop 4 straight, they have no chance of getting the head-to-head tiebreaker with the Pirates, and they would be a game behind them. Watching and waiting patiently is the Cincinnati Reds. They want to pounce on somebody, and it could be that the Pirates, if they lose this game, would be 18-17, and now they're looking at, competing with the Padres, for a wild card spot. I mean, it wouldn't completely kill the Pirates. If you followed along last year, you remember the Pirates were sitting around 500 as this tournament begun, ran through it, got a playoff spot as a wild card. Actually, they got the division title at the very end, I believe. Barely. And then they went to the World Series and won that. So we're not going to put anything past the Pirates. But for Pete's sakes, Pete, if you're out there, for Pete's sake, please, Pittsburgh, why do you put us through this? Why do you put us through yet another potential Cub catastrophe here? Just to torment me. How many games do you think I'm going to play? 1? No. 2? 3? 4 games? Game 4, Three Rivers Stadium. For the Cubs, it'll be Rick Russell. Rick had a very good 72. 10-8, 2.93 ERA, 129 innings. One of 3 very good righties in their rotation. And the Pirates will start Alan Foster, who was actually a Cardinal pitcher. I believe he also pitched for the Padres. Was languishing in AAA. Neither of those squads promoted him, so the Pirates scooped him and got him in free agency. And frankly, 73, 13-9, 313 ERA, and 204 innings. He's a comparable replacement to a rapidly fading Steve Blass, who they let go, while also letting Bruce Keeson move back to the bullpen. Rick Russell, Alan Foster, Game 4. I've never seen such a confident team and fans joyously celebrating down 0-3. But that's what we have in these bizarre circumstances. Let's get started from Three Rivers. It'll be Jose Cardinal. 65, second X. Then it's a 2E20, makes the play. Phil Madlock. 1-6, triple 104 is a base hit. B. Steeler. They don't have Sanguian in there against the tough righty Russell. They have Hal King, a lefty, in there. So that opens up the base stealing, opens up the base pass. Let's try a stolen base. And they were baited into getting caught stealing. That's how that works. You have Madlock and you have Sanguian and his -3 arm in there. You do an attempt to stolen base. You got a runner at first. You have a 0-arm catcher in there. You attempt a stolen base. There's 2 outs in the inning. That's how it works. Billy Williams, 2-7 for Billy. It's a grounder to first. All right, the Pirates. Do they roll out to a 9-0 lead and just, go through the motions and finish it? Or do they wait and get the comeback win in the late innings? How are they going to do it? Or do the Cubs indeed break the curse? Richie Hebner leads off. 69 off Russell, Sky's the center. Al Oliver, 54, triple 1-14 off Russell, is a 3-base hit. Roberto Clemente, 311, fly to right, B question mark, we got to run Oliver. 14, 15, 16 against the Cardinal arm of -3. And he's gone down on a 17. A 9-9-2 double play. The Pirates are trying to be aggressive. Wouldn't you? Down 0-3. You trying to make something happen? Got caught, thrown out the plate. Good right fielding throwing arms. You got the Cardinal -3. You got the Clementes -5. Top of the second, Cubs catcher Tim Hosley. 57, double 111 off Foster's a base hit. Andre Thornton, 210, flies to left. Dale Unser, 49, single 108, cannot get it. And Ron Santo, 68, triple 102, base hit. They're on the corners. For Don Kessinger, 36, grounds to first. Bottom of the second inning, it's Pop Stargell. 110, flies to center field. Dave Parker, 1-8, is a base hit. Richie Zisk, 212, is a 5-4-3 double play. Into the third, it'll be Glenn Beckert. 1-3, flies to left field. Back up top to Jose Cardinal. 34. He grounds to third. Bill Madlock, 1-4. Flies to left field. Briskly, here we go. Bottom of the third. Hal King, 57's a K. Larry Milbourne, 58. Short X. This is Kessinger, a 2E30. By the way, yep, the Cubs are starting all the good defensive players they have. With the exception of Randy Hundley, would be a replacement catcher with a -2 arm late in the game. And the Cubs were on the road, so they decided they needed defense. And wouldn't you? I mean, you don't want to blow a game with bad defense in this situation. Rennie Stennett, 58. Second X. This is Beckert, a 322. That's a base hit. He used to be a 2 a year ago. And now he's a 3. Stennett's on. Stennett's a D stealer. He doesn't become good at base stealing until late 70s. Runner at first, 2 outs, Richie Hebner. 48 off Russell is single 1-15. Gets it. 2 on, 2 outs. The batter is Al Oliver. 34 lines to short. The National League batting leader lines out to end the inning. Top of the fourth. Billy Williams, 1-7. Let's take a look at a card. Billy Williams. Brilliant 1972 card. You know, it's interesting. He had a brilliant 1970 and a brilliant 1972. In between, not so much in 71. Probably a good thing. He wasn't going to win the MVP anyway in 71 because you had Torrey and Stargell and Hank Aaron battling for it. But what a great card in 72. It's a shame he didn't win the MVP. But then again, Johnny Bench had 3 more homers than Billy Williams did. That's why he got it in close voting. 1-7, Billy Williams, homer 1-11 double, and the lone Cub All-Star representative with a solo shot. And dare we say it, folks, the Chicago Cubs are 18 outs away from sweeping the world champion Pittsburgh Pirates. Here's Tim Hosley. 65, second X. This is Stennett. Makes the play. Andre Thornton, 1-3. Flies to right. And Dell Unser, 64. Pops to short. Bottom of the fourth. Roberto Clemente, 2-8. Is a grounder to short. Willie Stargell, 55. That's a double to right field. Tie run at second base for Dave Parker, the Cobra. 5-10 is catcher's X. Hosley's a 40-16. Again, the one weak defensive player in their lineup. Well, it's a pass ball, no big deal. Runner goes to third with 2 outs, and it's going to be Richie Zisk. 58 off Russell is second X, and here is Beckert again. He gave up a single in the second inning, or in the third inning. He's a 3E22, second baseman, and he gets the ground ball C to end the threat. So that worked out well for the Cubs. He surrenders a single, which doesn't hurt him, and he gets the out when they need it. Okay, 1-0 in the fifth. Ron Santo. 56 off Foster, skies the center. Don Kessinger, 4-10, catcher's X. Your catcher, Hal King's a 40-16. Battling 40-16 catchers, folks. And Glenn Beckert, 1-8, is a fly ball to left field. Bottom of the fifth. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right. 1-0 game. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of things I could say here, but whatever. Okay. Let's just go. Bottom of the fifth. Hal King. 2-7 is a walk. That Billy Williams, the lone all-star for the Cubs, solo homer is the difference. Is the first thing I thought of. Larry Milbourne, 48. Single 1-15. Oh, he got it. I was thinking they were going to start missing those. 2 on for Rennie Stennett. Do you bunt in the fifth? A lot of teams would, not the Pirates. They don't even bunt. They don't care. They don't need to in their eyes. And again, if you're down 0-3, you just keep hacking away until they tell you can't play anymore. So then it's hacking. 5-10. Catcher's X. We'll move them up anyway. 40-16. There's a wild pitch. That moves the runners to second and third with 1 out. And your Cubbies will bring the infield up for the dangerous Richie Hebner. 68 off Russell. And that is a sac fly to right field. And we have a tie game. We got a runner at second with 2 outs, and it's Al Oliver. 58. That's short X. Kessinger's a 2E30 at short, and he makes the play. So, well, the Pirates have sent 2 more batters up in this game in a 1-1 tie. As we go to the 6th inning, Russell and Foster, they're both pitchers or starter 7s. Let's keep going. Jose Cardinal. 1-7 for Jose, double 1-4, base hit. A stealer. Here we go again. 0-arm catcher. You got caught stealing the first. Screw it. We're gonna steal. Here we go. And we're gunned down. Okay. You see that? See how that works? Say, what happens to these Cubs? I mean, they're just rolling, and then we just are doing the same stuff, and this happens, right? Okay. Bill Madlock. 2-10, rolls the third. And Billy Williams, are you kidding me? 1-7. Same roll. Doesn't convert the homer, though. It's homer 1-11 again. Got it there. It's an 18 here. That makes it a double, making that caught stealing look even worse with 2 outs. And it's Tim Hosley. Let's take a look at the Hosley card. I haven't seen any cards today. Hosley, my goodness, has a very good 75 and 168 plate appearances. All against, or most of it against right-handed pitchers, too. Power, walks. This was the only really good card he'd ever have, which is a shame. But the Cubs can have this card for a while as the heir apparent to Randy Hundley, who's on the team as a reserve. Big moment, runner at second, 2 outs. The pitch to Tim Hosley. 1-7 is a strikeout. Bottom of the 6th, it'll be Roberto Clemente. 58 off Russell, again, is second X. They are really attacking this Cub infield, and they're making plays. Only once has a ball gotten through, and it didn't hurt them. Pop Stargell, 56, and he connects off of Russell. Double 1-4, base hit. The 8 runner at first. He's no threat to run the bases here. Dave Parker, 67, is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Richie Zisk. 2-9's a fly ball to center field. Well, 2-0 game in Game 3. 1-1 game in Game 4. Top of the 7th. And again, the Pirates have Justy Hernandez. Outstanding relievers, though Foster, he's doing a heck of a job here. Hate to see this kid lose in a potential 4-game sweep as well. It's hard to say. You gotta be careful and watch this guy. He's good against lefties, so with Unser and Kessinger up in this inning, we'll roll with Alan Foster. But leading it all off will be Andre Thornton. 112, fly ball to left field plus an injury. The Cubs just lost their first baseman. They have a couple on the bench, Jim Hickman and Carmen Funzone. We'll determine that later. Del Unser, 38, is a K. And with 2 outs, Ron Santo, 2-9, single 1-17. Can't get it. Lines out on an 18. Oh, boy. Inning's over. All right, let's get a first baseman in there. I'll go with Jim Hickman. He was in the All-Star game a year ago. He'll be put in Andre Thornton's spot. 40-10. All right. How are the Cubs going to screw this up? 1-1 game. Bottom of the 7th. Stretch time here in Pittsburgh of a quickly moving ball game. We've been enjoying the 5 stair steps. This is a comp of all their Buddha stuff in the late 60s. You got, of course, Danger, She's a Stranger on here, World of Fantasy, and of course, Don't Change Your Love. But yeah, the one they're known for, we'll just throw that down right here. Yeah, oh child. By the 5 stair steps. Will this ignite the Pirates in the bottom of the 7th? Rick Russell continues. It'll be Hal King. 1-5. K's. Larry Milbourne. 48. Single 1 of 15. Gets it. They've gotten it every time. How about a 1-out hit and run with a right-handed batter, Rennie Stennett? Hit and run. Moves the runner to second. And with 2 outs, it's Hebner. I know what you're thinking. Get a new pitcher in there, because Russell's bad against lefties. But Hebner is better against lefties. So, he will swing away. 45 off Russell is a liner to short. Both starters beyond their point of weakness. Into the 8th we go. It'll be Don Kessinger. 47 is a K. Glenn Beckert. 410 short X. Short X. This is Milbourne, a 338. Makes the play. And back up top to Cardinal. Happy Jose flies to center field. Well, Billy Williams will bat in the 9th with a homer and a double. But before that, bottom of the 8th, Russell. He's got lefty, righty, lefty. And now let's show you some cards, because we have All-Star, All-Star, All-Star. So we'll start with Al Oliver. He is leading the National League in hitting. We got his 72 card where he hit 312, so he's optimizing that with 12 home runs. Got this card because he's decent in center and at first base defensively. Here's the pitch to Al Oliver. 1-6, rolls to short. Now we got Roberto Clemente, and of course his final year of 1972. What more can you say? They gave him an E0. He's 1-5 E0. He's perfect in right field. You cannot do better. And the greatest defensive player at any position ever, at least in 72, as a 1-5 E0. So he's a 312 hitter as well. With 10 homers, he got injured in a year, had about 400 plate appearances. Here's the pitch to Roberto Clemente. 66, single 1 is 14. Are you kidding me? I got to look at this really closely here. My eyesight's failing me. Yeah, it's single 1 of 14, and he rolled a 15. The ink on these cards from 72 is so pale. It's hard to see sometimes. Yeah, it's single 1 of 14, line out the rest, and he lines out on a 15. And with 2 outs, another All-Star. Let's take a look at Willie Stargell. 73 card. We had a 71 card in the league for the last 3 or 4 years. And he really struggled somehow with it. Had homers and RBIs and things like that, but he often hit like 210, 220 with it. Things changed this year as he brought a 333 average to the All-Star game with virtually a similar card. Sometimes it's just different ink on a different card and you get really, really lucky with it. And other times you get really, really unlucky with it. It's just weird how it works, particularly in volatile short sample sizes. Here's the pitch to Willie Stargell. 3-6. Dressed that one up perfectly, didn't I, folks? And in a battle of homers from Hall of Famers, left fielders Williams and Stargell, Stargell gets the home run, and it's 2-1 Pirates. Yep. And here is Dave Parker. 68. Oh, he flies to right field. Well, there it is. 2-1. We go to the 9th. Pirates will bring in George Theodore to play left field for actually, does Earline have to move in the outfield? Yeah, they're going to put Parker in center. They'll put Theodore in left. They're going to put Al Oliver at first base now. That's the move. There you go. That's the ticket. We'll put him in Stargell's spot. We don't need him anymore. And we don't need Tavares. You want to get Sanguine in here? We have a little bit of speed. Yeah, let's get Sanguine in Hal King's spot. That's probably detrimental, because if Hal King was still in the game, the Cubs might do something silly like attempt more stolen bases, but now with Sanguine they won't. We go to the 9th, and we're pulling our guy. This is silly now. Foster got what he was looking for. He was digging for a win if he stuck around long enough, and he can get one. 8 innings, he's closed out. We're not going to mess this up with lefty, righty, all that stuff. We're just going to go Justy. The Pirates closer, you're going to have to beat the best. Justy, 7-4 with a 1.92 ERA in 75 innings and 72. He's been dominant with this card, while his bullpen mate Ramon Hernandez, the left-handed version of him, has struggled mightily. So Justy is just going to come in, give it some gas, and see where we're at. See where we at in this Cub-Pirate struggle. It'll be Bill Madlock. Let's take a look at some cards again. In the 9th, here is Bill Madlock. We got his 74 card introduced with a 313 average. I think it's his rookie year. Next year, we could probably bump up to that batting champion card of 75, or the year after that. But here is the pitch to Bill Madlock. 2-2, bounces to short. And now you got Billy Williams. Homer and a double. Could missing this homer there be the story of the Cubs season? I hope not. Here's the pitch to Billy Williams. 3-11, he gets the walk. Way to go, Billy. And now you got Tim Mosley. Saw the card earlier. A 2-5 or 3-6 could potentially ruin Pittsburgh's season right here and now. Here's the pitch to Tim Mosley. 2-6. That's an extra base hit. Double 1-18. He gets the 18. It's a 2-base hit, and the Cubs have it going on in the 9th. 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. The Pirates are forced to bring the infield up. And Andre Thornton, the scheduled batter, remember he got injured, so this is Jim Hickman. Let's take a look at Jim. He went to the All-Star game for the Cubs a year ago as their lone representative, as he led that club in hitting. This year he slumped a little bit, but the 72 card and about 400 plate appearances, it's a 272 average with 17 home runs. The infield is up. Justy isn't going anywhere. Here's the pitch to Jim Hickman. 1-6 is a K. And with 2 outs, it'll be number 6 hitter Del Unser. Let's take a look at Del. He's a free agent. He was not on the Cubs. He was with the Phillies in 73. Before that, I think the Washington Senators, maybe the Texas Rangers. He's on with the Phillies for quite a number of years. But the Cubs got him in free agency to play center field with his great defense. In 73, he hits 289 with 11 home runs. A chance to be a legend, dare we say, if you can come through with a 2-run single here. With a base open, but Justy's very good against lefties. You saw his card. Here's your ball game. The pitch to Del Unser. 46 is your fly ball to right field, and the script continues. We're just connecting the dots for y'all, folks. The Cubs lose another extremely winnable game, wasting some outstanding starting pitching by Rick Russell. The final, Pittsburgh 2, the Cubs 1. Alan Foster, big game Alan Foster is his nickname. 8 innings, 1 run allowed. He gets the win. Justy gets the save. Russell has to get a loss here. And we'll give you the results of the rest of the series after the break. In Game 5, it'll be a battle of Game 1 starters. Jim Rooker for the Pirates, Fergie Jenkins for the Cubs. We'll have that. And a Game 6 and 7 back at Wrigley Field if necessary. So stay tuned. Oh, hello again. Back here, this is the box score of Game 4 you just saw, with the Pirates winning 2-1. And in the Cubs clubhouse, someone's leading a speech. Probably Ron Santo, maybe Jim Hickman, probably not Billy Williams or Fergie Jenkins. They don't seem like that rowdy type like that. It went something like this. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? No. If you missed the Animal House reference, then that's on you. But anyway, yep, the Cubs have to regroup in a Game 5 in Pittsburgh. Let's see what happens. Trying to avoid the embarrassment that they just did before the All-Star break. Can they beat the Pirates in a best of 7? All right. It is Fergie Jenkins versus Jim Rooker. Right out of the gates. Cubs, be aggressive, be aggressive, be aggressive, something like that. Cardinal double with 2 outs. Ron Santo RBI single and Jim Hickman RBI double. It's 2-0. And the Pirates in the 3rd. You get a single, a double, an out, and then an error, unfortunately, by Andre Thornton. So it's 2-1. In the 5th inning, Glenn Beckert? Solo homer? What's going on? The Cubs getting a lead for the 5th game in a row? Yeah. They get a lead. It's 3-1. Then in the 6th inning, Ron Santo, a 2-run homer. It's 5-1. They're almost sniffing this thing, folks. Then in the 8th inning now, Rooker's still out there, as is Fergie. It's a 5-1 game. Madlock gets the first out, and then the Pirates really don't want any more runs to get up there, so they're thinking about bringing Justy, but they're saying, Billy Williams is a lefty. Let Rooker pitch to him. Gone! Billy Williams! Homers in back-to-back games. It is 6-1. They bring in Justy to finish this thing. But it gets interesting, folks. A 6-1 game in the bottom of the 9th. You get a ground out. 1 out. But then Manny Sanguillen doubles. Then Hal King walks. Then Larry Milbourne singles to load the bases. And they go to the bullpen because Fergie hits his point of weakness. Moreover, we don't want to do a Grady Little on Fergie and have him lose in catastrophic fashion. So he's yanked. A 6-1 score with the bases loaded. And we bring in Ray Burris. Statistically, just a little worse than Fergie, but much fewer homers allowed. So stay away from the long ball. Ronnie Stennett, 2-run single. It's 6-1, it's 6-2, it's 6-3. Runners on the corners. He walks Richie Hebner to load the bases. And with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, who else? Al Oliver, the hero of the All-Star game and the batting champion of the National League, hits a ground ball to Ron Santo, 3rd X. And Santo delivers a GBA to end the game. A GBA with the bases loaded playing back, and that's how the Cubs do it. Cubs win! Cubs win! Cubs win 6-3 behind Ron Santo and Fergie Jenkins. Fergie 8 1/3, 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 6 Ks. Rooker just didn't have it today. Didn't have it twice in this series. 2 losses, 3 losses for the season. 2 in 5 days against the Cubs. What's it all mean, folks? What's it all mean? Let's take a peek. Here we are. Right here. Best of 7. Cubs win 4-1. Cubs are 22-14. Pirates are 19-17. Big picture over here. Here are the Cubs, 8 over 500. You got the Giants are 8 over 500. You have the Mets, 7 over 500. The Reds still have to play. Pirates are now a half game behind the Reds. They're rooting for the Cardinals to beat the Reds up a little bit so that the Pirates can stay in 2nd place. But right now, just not a lot of wins for the world champs. It wouldn't be that hard for one of these upstart teams. Heck, even right now, the door's open for if one of these, Arizona or Colorado, does a sweep, they could sneak into a wild card. Padres butchered that up. Astros also boogered it up. The Braves boogered it up. It's like, who wants to win in the National League? Nobody. So the free-falling Pirates could end up landing with a safety net anyway. And all 3 of these teams, it could stay this way with these 3 teams going to the playoffs. But right now, the Cubs, oh my goodness. They haven't clinched the division yet because the Reds haven't played. But they're looking like they're in the playoffs. Break up the Chicago Cubs, ending, at least temporarily, the choking trends of 1969 and the one we demonstrated before the All-Star break this year. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.